So today is the last day of Ramayan, and we are somewhere in the middle of Sundarakanda, the most beautiful part of Ramayan, because all the leelas of devotees, like especially Hanuman's leelas are there. The Sundarakanda. So after leaping 1,000 yojanas, Hanuman landed in the mighty Lanka, which was originally the kingdom of Kuvera. Ravana snatched it by force. He snatched Lanka as well as Pushpaka Vimana also. So when Hanuman landed Lanka, he didn't want others to notice him, so he reduced himself of a size of a cat, as a small cat. Then he was tiptoeing inside Lanka. When the cats get angry, when they get furiated, the cats will stand on their nails, not on the foot. They will stand on the nails and they will bend like this. So Hanuman was walking on the nails. He became the size of the cat and was just walking on the nails inside Lanka. And all the Rakshasas were sleeping. Each and every security was 30 times of the size of Hanuman. 30 times. So, as some fun, he was entering the ear of the Rakshasas and coming out of the nose. And somewhere he was entering the nose and coming out of their mouth. He was having his own fun time. Then he entered Lanka. That time, a very gigantic Rakshasi, she came and stood in front of Hanuman and said, "What creature are you? How dare you enter the Swarna Lanka?" Lanka is made of gold, not with cement and tiles and things like that. It's made of gold. How dare you enter the Swarna Lanka without nobody's knowledge? First of all, you tell me, what kind of creature are you? Are you a Asura? Are you a Rakshasa? Are you a Nara? What are you? Looking very odd. Then Hanuman raised his chest. Usually he boasts himself when he is, when he grows himself to a very big extent. But at that point, Hanuman didn't realize he's cat size. He thought he's like a gigantic size. So he expanded his chest and asked, "Who are you?" So that made the Rakshasi laugh. Said, "I am the presiding deity of Swarna Lanka. Nobody can enter Lanka without my permission." Then he said, "I am Hanuman, the greatest of the Vanaras. I can lift and break mountains and tear it apart into pieces." When he's saying that, he's only cat size. And the presiding deity started laughing. Then Hanuman realized then he grew himself so huge. Then the presiding deity of Lanka saw him. She was a bit scared also. She brought all her courage into her fist and gave one big blow on Hanuman. That was something like somebody was throwing a flower on him. So Hanuman also got real angry. He was about to slap her. Then he realized she's a female. So he just gave one pat. And that lady, the presiding deity, collapsed and fell down unconscious. Then she got up and said, "One day Indra told me a naughty monkey will come and slap. And that day is the beginning of the end of Rakshasas. So thank you. May your mission be victorious. Oh, the cat monkey, please enter the Swarna Lanka. She gave the way. Then Hanuman again became so tiny. Then he was going inside and all the Rakshasas, it's dead night, and they were all drunkard and sleeping, and some of them were snoring, and Hanuman was having a fun. He will go to their nose and they will blow the air and he will fly. Then when they suck, he will come. Then when they blow, he will fly. And it was playing. He was doing all sorts of things. And some Rakshasis were so huge, they were snoring, and he will play on their earrings. You know, those days the Matajis and all used to have big nut and bolt in their ears. Not earrings. Have you seen? The earlobes will come up this, you know, and it will be big hole there. And they will have the huge, big nuts which used for vehicles. They have that, they fix it there. Olden Matajis even now like that, right? Yeah. So he was swinging and swaying on those earrings and playing when the Rakshasis were snoring. Then on their long arms he will sit and slide down. Then he will again climb, sit on their shoulders and slide down. All sorts of things was going on with the Hanuman. He was like playing and playing and playing and enjoying. And he saw the Lanka is fully made of gold. The palaces were made of crystals. Crystal palaces cladded with gold. He has never seen anything like that in his life. He enjoyed it so much. And all these Rakshasis and Rakshasas were drunk and they were snoring, and he had a whole parade between them. And finally he remembered, oh, I came on a different mission. I need to search for Sita. So he entered each and every palace looking for Sita. Went everywhere, and to his disappointment, Sita was nowhere. No, he couldn't find Sita. Finally he went to Ravana's palace. And in every room there were hundreds of apsaras and beautiful ladies, and each room had pools. Some pools were made of scented oil. Some pools were made of sandalwood oils. Some pools were made of milk. Some pools were made of honey. Some were made of wine. And around that all these females and mighty shouldered Rakshasas were sleeping and snoring, one on top of another and thing. And he was going and looking each and every lady like that, whether she is Sita, whether she is Sita, not missing even single person. So he was looking everybody. And he entered hundreds of rooms and there is no Sita. Finally he entered the chamber of Ravana. Some 300 females were lying on the floor. In between them there was a spatika bed, bed made out of spatika. And on that silk soft bed, and Ravana is like a huge mountain lying on top of it. And his hands and all was so huge, at least 20 females were lying using that as a pillow. Then he saw the beautiful Mandodari. Then he thought for a while, what a dangerous seva I have got. I am a brahmachari and checking all the Matajis. What a service I have got. Oh Ram, why you have put me in this thing? I am a Naishtika brahmachari and my service now is to check every Mataji. Rakshasis and all the angels. Then for a second he thought Mandodari to be Sita. Because then immediately he realized Sita can never sleep peacefully in separation from Ram. And Sita will never accept another man. So this is not Sita. Because I thought for a split second, I misunderstood Sita, I will fast till the battle starts. He will make that vow. So there, Acharyas are explaining, if devotees, if anybody does a mental mistake, small things, which we do every day, we think some bad about some devotees, we think something, it is better to fast for a time. In that way we can counteract that. Even that mental offense. So Hanuman decided that I will fast till the battle begins. Okay? Every day. Okay. So then Hanuman looked for all the palaces, hundreds and hundreds of palaces, including Vibhishana's palace. Then he was completely upset and discouraged. He was like, he couldn't find Sita at all. Then he came and sat on a huge tree thinking this mighty Rakshasa Ravana would have devoured Sita, eaten her up, or killed because she didn't submit. What would have happened? He started speculating and speculating, thinking so many things. On a distance, he saw this beautiful garden, a grove, where the plants all grown up and twined among themselves, forming beautiful nikunjas, gardens, and the flowers hanging, and wild berries are all hanging in bunches, and the honeybees are all going between this thing, and Rakshasis, heavy Rakshasis are, safeguarding that place. Then he thought, this is the only place I have not checked. Let me go and investigate there. Then he sprang from one tree to another, and came and landed in Ashokvana. That was about to sunrise. Then he saw one very beautiful, slender lady wearing yellow garments, completely covered, and all her dresses wet because of continuous tears, sobbing and screaming silently, "Oh Ram, Ram, I cannot bear a moment. A moment is like years together from separation. Oh, please, where are you? I am here. I am sure you may not know where I am." And she was silently screaming. Then Hanuman made out, this must be Sita. Then when he was about to climb down the mountain, huge Rakshasis with all the trumpets, they are coming and blowing and say, "Rakshasa Raja, the Swarna Lankesha, Ravana is coming." As soon as Sita heard Ravana's name, she immediately got scared and she ran and hid behind Trijata. Trijata is the only friend of Sita Devi. She went and hid, and Trijata caught her arms, Sita's arms, and pressed her, giving confidence, "Don't worry, I am there with you." And Ravana is coming, and 300 his queens are coming, of different sizes and different ages. He has got 10-15 from Nagaloka, 10-15 from Gandharvaloka, 2-3 from Apsaras, few from Indra's place, some from Brahmaloka, some from different Patala region, got all collection. Some 300 of them are following him. One has chamara in her hand, another has got some nice scented aroma, all sorts of things. And Ravana is majestically walking in the front, holding high, his head is up in the high, and people are all coming. And Ravana came, very sarcastically told Sita, "Hey Sita, why are you waiting for something which will never happen? Maybe your Ram is already dead. Why don't you just accept me? You see these queens, and there are thousands of queens already waiting. But if you accept me, I will put you front in the line. Even Mandodari will stand behind. She is Mayadhanava's daughter. She will stand behind." Each word is like pouring hot iron inside her ears. She's holding her ears tightly, and Sita is telling, "Ram, Ram, Ram." And Ravana will sarcastically say, "Ram, Ram, Ram." He will pull her, saying that nobody is going to listen to you. Then he will tell Trijata, "You make her submit to me either by force or by plea. I don't bother. I'm giving you 2 months' time. Within 2 months, if Sita doesn't submit me, I will come, chop her into 100 pieces, and I will eat her as my breakfast." And he goes back. And Hanuman is sitting and watching the whole thing. Now Hanuman is completely convinced this personality is Sita. And for the last 10 months, Sita didn't budge even a bit. Hanuman's prayer towards Sita multiplied 100 times. What a great personality she is. She is definitely the mother of universe. When Hanuman wanted to go and submit in front of Sita, then Hanuman thought, maybe Sita will misunderstand me, thinking that I am a Rakshasa in disguise. So he sat down on the top and sang a very beautiful song, right from the first king of Raghu Vamsha, the clan, Raghu dynasty. She spoke about a king, then his son, then comes Dilipa, then comes Dasharatha, then came the noble Ram. How he lived, how was his Balya Leela, how he was taken to forest, and how beautifully he broke the bow and married Janaki, how they were enjoying in the forest, and Ravana came and kidnapped her. Listening to all the songs, Sita is trying to see who is singing, and she became so happy. After 10 months, she felt there is some life. And immediately seeing the beautiful smiling face of Sita, Hanuman jumped from the tree. As soon as she saw Hanuman, she thought, this is a Rakshasa. So don't come near me, I know you all people, you are in disguise, you can't convince me, don't cheat me and all. Then he again sang and told all the confidential pastimes, Leelas between Ram and Sita, just to gain the confidence. When she heard more and more, Sita started believing Hanuman and told, oh, great, who are you? Then he said, I am Hanuman, the minister of Sugriva, and Sugriva is friend of Ram. We are the whole troop searching for you. I am a messenger sent to find your whereabout. I will go back and inform Ram. Then Hanuman took a ring which Rama gave, a very special ring. The ring was actually given by Janaka Maharaja to Sita in the presence of, at the wedding time. Seeing the ring, immediately Sita understood, this is Ram. And she had a lot of confidence. Then asked, how is Ram? What is this? What is that? Then Hanuman started explaining how every second Ram is feeling your separation and crying. Okay. Should we come a little forward? Sita and Hanuman spoke for a long time. Sita is explaining, Hanuman is explaining how Ram didn't smile for the past 10 months, day and night thinking about you and simply chanting your name, acting like a madman. And Sita was telling how every second is intolerable, just holding on the life, waiting for Ram. If Ram makes further delay, I don't have the strength to control myself. I may die at any moment. Please tell Ram to come as fast as possible. Just looking at Sita, listening to her pitiful situation, Hanuman said, why don't you just jump on my back? One leap I will take you to Ram. Then Sita said, immediately Sita felt that's a great idea. Then she thought, no, after staying with Ravana for 10 months, it is not fair to come with you, and I have vowed in my life that I will not touch any other male than Ram. So it is good. Ram comes and delivers me, saves me. Please go. Then Hanuman will say, is there any message to Ram? Then Sita will say, when we were in Panchavati, one day morning after I finished bathing and came, Ram got some kind of seed which has got a red paint, and how Ram decorated her cheek for a long time. This thing only me and Ram knows. If you go and convey this message, he will understand. And with that message, Hanuman didn't want to leave Sita, seeing her condition. And Sita told, that's a beautiful thing, Sita told Hanuman, please stay for one more day with me. This is the only day I really felt there is life in me. Every day I was dying and lying on the lap of Trijada and crying and crying. These Rakshasis are tormenting so much. Every day morning Ravana will come and threaten me all sorts of things. I'm just dying. Please stay with me for a day. Hanuman was really moved. So this is actually the association of devotees. Devotees want to stay on with devotees, right? They don't want to. If you go back to India or in wherever and there is no devotee association, after 2 weeks you will feel like, suffocation. Like I too used to go sometimes to my relative's house, be there for 2-3 hours. Then when I come back outside the house, all the chin, everything will be paining. Because artificially 3 hours I was smiling. Simply smiling. Artificially, after some time all this thing will pain. What to talk with them, what to do, they will be talking completely different things. They will seriously ask, what time you get up, what you eat, what you do. And they will be feeling out of place when they are associating with us. We will think they are crazy, they will think we are crazy. Okay? So Sita pleaded to Hanuman and said, stay for one more day. Then Hanuman thought, maybe Ram is also in the same situation like Sita. If I delay things further, then the whole union between Ram and Sita will get delayed for one more day. So immediately the prayer of Sita made him to go fast. Then he said, I have done my job, oh Devi. But at the same time I am a monkey, I have to do something extra. So when I am leaving Lanka, I will come and meet you. Then he went. And he thought it's time for the show. Then Hanuman went to the entrance of Ashokavana. He grew himself to a massive size, started pulling, tearing apart all the huge Ashwatha trees, the banyan trees, and tearing it apart and throwing on top of each and every Rakshasi. And they were screaming out of pain and running here and there and here and there. And he is telling Rakshasi, go and inform Ravana, go fast, inform. And the news reached the palace of Ravana. And they heard that some puny monkey has entered the Ashokavana and creating big confusion. Then he sent some military generals. And some 400-500 of them came. And Hanuman pulled out one Ashwatha tree, one banyan tree, and killed all the 300. Then thousands and 10,000s and so many Rakshasas came, and Hanuman was having fun time killing all of them. Then finally Indrajit came with Brahmastra, Nagastra, and they tied Hanuman. Hanuman actually bent down for that so that he can go and meet Ravana. So when he went there, and even Hanuman was wondered by seeing the palace of Ravana. And it seems he was sitting on 100-foot tall Spatika Simhasan, which he took from Kubera. And he's sitting on that. And all sorts of ministers and Rakshasas are at his command and everybody. And there is one saintly man, Vibhishana, is also sitting. They bought this monkey and they informed this monkey killed 40,000 Rakshasas, so he should be killed immediately. Then Hanuman said, I am the messenger of Ram, minister of Sugriva. Hey Rakshasa Raja, I have come with an important message for you. As soon as possible, you deliver Sita back to Ram and fall at his feet and ask forgiveness. Ram will bless you and forgive you. If not, the whole kingdom will be devastated. Ravana didn't even bother about the message. He told to the Rakshasas, just kill him. Something like a mosquito killer. Then Vibhishana got up and said, "No, my lord, you should never kill a messenger." Then Ravana got irritated by the advice. He said, "Vibhishana, come on, you are speaking about messengers, I can understand, but this is a monkey." You know? Then Vibhishana said, "Whatever it is, we don't have the right to kill a messenger." Ravana got real wild with that advice. He said, "Okay, put fire on his tail." The monkeys are very proud about their tails. You know, whenever they win a battle, they take and kiss their tails, pat it on their head and all sorts of things they do. So they are so proud about their tails, set fire to their tails. And the Rakshasas came and put fire, you know. Then they were dragging him in the streets of Lanka. All the Rakshasas and Rakshis coming in, throwing old things, humiliating him. Then Hanuman thought, this is too much for a servant of Ram. He immediately slipped from the hands of Rakshasas and started jumping from one roof to another and putting fire all over. He burnt the whole Lanka except Vibhishana's house and Ashokavana. He put fire on everything. And finally he went and put his tail in the ocean, and he came back to Sita and said, "Just count for days, we will be back." And Sita felt so happy in the last 10 years. She thanked Hanuman hundreds of times. She thanked him again and again. And Hanuman started feeling it, it was feeling so odd. The Devi, Lakshmi Devi herself is thanking Hanuman, and he was feeling so bad. That also encouraged him to go and do more other things. Then he went back, and with another leap, he reached back the Mahendra Parvata, where all his friends are waiting for him. Angada, Neela, Jambavan and everything. Hanuman came and landed, and he's jumping up in the sky, doing somersault, again landing, again jumping, doing somersault, landing. Seeing the reactions of Hanuman, Jambavan said, he had seen Sita. He got the message of Sita. So Angada, Jambavan, everybody is jumping. All the monkeys are jumping. They are enjoying. And Angada said, "Let us not waste a moment. We will rush back to Ram." And they all immediately ran to see Lord Ramchandra. Prabhupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavan Sitaram Prabhupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavan Sitaram Prabhupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavan Sitaram. So, in this way, 4 lakh-year-old Jambavan. With all these monkeys, this elderly Jambavan is also rolling on the ground and screaming and shouting, Jai Ram, Jai Sita and all. So Ramchandramurti already got the teams, went on search from other directions except south. So day by day, the anticipation is increasing that Hanuman will definitely bring some good news. And from a distance, Sugriva can see all these monkeys roaring and screaming and shouting and running towards Ram. Then they all understood something positive has happened. And Jambavan came. So immediately Ramchandramurti got up from his stone seat with arms raised, stretched. He ran towards Ram and Hanuman, and Jambavan is coming in the front. They are all pushing Hanuman to go in the front. Go, tell. Then Hanuman came and said, I saw Sita. First thing he said was, I saw Sita. So that cannot be explained in English. It can be explained only in our any other Indian language, because there is a different usage. There is if you say in Hindi, or how you will say? Yeah, so he said, Dekha Sita ko maine, something like that. He turned it. First he wanted to say the word, I saw. He didn't want to say anything else. He wanted to say, saw. Dekha, not even many, that all comes in the end. First he wanted to say Dekha, It was so this thing, he didn't want Ram to suffer for a split second. He said that word first. Saw, like that. Then immediately Ramchandramurti embraced him and tears were flowing from his eyes, and Hanuman could feel the warmthness of the tears. Then he took him and caught his hand, and Ramchandramurti said, explain to me everything in detail, what happened there. And Hanuman was able to understand the gravity of Ramchandramurti, and he said everything. Then how he disturbed all the Rakshasas, how he has set up fire, what are all the way they are protecting the Lanka, who is standing there, which, everything. And Ramchandramurti said, I can never repay your service. You are the perfect servant. You understood the mood of the master and did more than what is asked. You are the example for his servant. Then he told the confidential pastime between Ram and Sita, decorating her cheek. Hearing that, Ramchandramurti started crying. He started feeling the separation more and more times. Then Sugriva came and caught Hanuman's hand and said, won't explain much. Let us prepare. Let us get ready to go and attack. And they were getting ready. So, Valmiki Ramayan explains how a servant should be. How you should serve the Lord without explaining much. How many of you have been to a place in Bangalore, close to Bangalore, between Bangalore and Mysore, called Melkote? Okay, quite a lot. Melkote is the place where Ramanujacharya stayed for years and years and wrote a lot of his books. That's the place where Ramanujacharya retrieved Narayan deity. That's the place where Radhanath Maharaj wrote the second part of Journey Home. Very important place. There's a beautiful Shalva Narayana Perumal temple actually. Once Ramanujacharya went to Delhi Sultan, and the Sultan is like Aurangzeb, attacking every place and destroying all the Vaishnava temples and putting fire to them, those kind of things. Finally he made a mistake. He destroyed a Vishnu temple and took the deity and gave it to his daughter to play with. One Muslim girl, every day she was playing with the deity. This girls play with Barbie doll, this doll, that. So she was playing with the doll all the time, feeding, putting to bed, lullaby singing, putting to sleep and all those things. Because the girl is playing with Vishnu, unknowingly she got attached. And morning she wouldn't eat breakfast without feeding to the doll. She wouldn't sleep without feeding to the doll. If the doll is not next to her, she won't sleep. And like that, she grew up. And when she became 12, the parents noticed she's getting addicted. She's getting mad. So they took this deity and threw it inside a storehouse and locked. And the girl stopped eating. The girl stopped everything. Then Ramanujacharya's dream, the Lord came and said, I am supposed to be in the temple worshipped, but I am inside a storehouse between all garbages. Then the Acharya, Ramanujacharya, went to the Sultan and asked, I need a gift. The Sultan respects some saintly people also. He said, whatever you want, you can ask. Then he said, I want to look for a doll. Then he went inside the storehouse and Ramanujacharya opened the doors and called Narayana, and the deity sprang from that place and came to his lap. So he went and installed it in Melkote. When the girl came to know the deity is lost, she stopped eating, she stopped sleeping, she started becoming completely mad. They took her to all sorts of doctors and treatment and things like that. This just happened 1100 years back, not something Puranic and all. And finally the doctor said, give her whatever she is asking, then only the disease can be cured. Then they asked Ramanujacharya and they said the deity is installed in Melkote between Mysore and Bangalore. And that girl came with the whole envoy from the Delhi Sultan, ministers, soldiers, everything. She came and paid namaskara and left her body in the temple. And even now if you go to Melkote temple, there is Narayana Murti. Next to her, her idol is there. Her deity is there. She is Tuluk Nachia Bivi. That's the name and that's how they worship. It's the only temple in India where you can see a Muslim girl getting worshipped. So Krishna is beyond all the religions. It's a simple proof. And there are two ponds. It's called Akka Tanga Kulam. Two ponds. Kunda. This kunda is separated by a small wall in between, which is just 1 foot width. There's a wall and there are two ponds. These two ladies were prostitutes and sinning throughout their life. At the fag end of their life, some saint told her, these girls, ladies, you have committed so much of sin. Why don't you worship Vishnu in the last minute at least and derive some punya? So the younger one took it very seriously. They said, okay, tell me what service I should do. They said, this temple is up in the hill. Hundreds of pilgrims go every day. There is no water to drink. And there is no water to perform Abhishek. Nothing. Why don't you both make a pond? And both of them started spending all their money making ponds. The younger one did the pond with full faith. The elder one, what is this craziness and all, she was thinking. Anyway, she made a pond. And even today, these two ponds are there. One water is good, another is a salty water. Nobody touches the elder one's pond. The younger one's pond is taken for Abhishek, everything. It's a solid proof. This happened just 300 years back. Not very old, just 300 years back. The mood of service. The younger one's pond is very good. Even today people are using. You have seen that pond? Yeah. So, Hanuman performed such a wonderful service. Ramchandramurti was moved by that service. He was ready to give him everything. But Sugriva is hurrying. Let's go, let's go. There's no time. Because we have only 2 months. If we don't finish or defeat Ravana in 2 months' time, he will kill Sita. So we have only 2 months. Let us move. And Sugriva is pushing the whole army. And that time, Vibhishana is advising Ravana, don't do this. You are bringing a great misfortune to our kingdom. The Rakshasa race will be destroyed. The dynasty will be wiped out of earth. And immediately Indrajit got up and said, you old stupid uncle, don't advise my father all the time. You don't know his power. He defeated Indra. He defeated Kubera. He made Yamaraj to run away, flee for his life. Don't speak like this. And you don't know about me? I personally single-handedly defeated Indra twice. Then Vibhishana gave a tough look and said, "You stupid idiot boy, sit down." Don't speak when the elders are talking. And what do you know about, all these things he will say also. When Indrajit was rebuked, scolded by Vibhishana, Ravana didn't like. Because out of so many children, Indrajit is his pet son. And he depends on Indrajit so much. Then he told Vibhishana, "Because you are my younger brother, I spare your life. If it would have been somebody else in the same position, by this time the head will roll and go and fall in the ocean. Take it down from me." He gave everything. Vibhishana got up and said, "Where there is no value for a good advice, I shouldn't stay there." And he quit the place. When Vibhishana left, 4 of his faithful ministers also left with him. Vibhishana didn't bother about his daughter. He didn't bother about his wife. He just said, "My only shelter is now Ram. There is nobody else. For the hopeless, Ram is the only hope." That's a shloka there. Then he went by Akasha Marga. He flew. Then he was standing above Lord Ramachandra for his permission to land now. It's like Vibhishana and the 4 ministers are standing. And Vibhishana from the sky, he's telling, screaming, "Sugriva, I am the younger brother and the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and I have fought with Ravana. Ravana doesn't have faith in me. He's not listening to my advice. Now I have come in the shelter of Ram. Please inform Ram." And he's staying there only. It's not coming down. Then all the Sugriva and the monkeys are telling, "Never trust all these Rakshasas. Let us pull them down. Let us tear them apart. Let us tie them in our tails and carry to the 14 planetary systems." All sorts of things. They're screaming. And some monkeys are throwing stones at them also. All sorts of things is going on. That time Hanuman came. And Ramchandramurti got that message. And he immediately called everybody to give a proper advice. Then Hanuman said, "I saw this person in the palace of Ravana. I value his words. His each and every statement has got full of truth. I can see compassion in his eyes. I can see knowledge personified. Oh Ram, he will never betray us. Let us make him as our friend." Then Ram smilingly said, "I always accept Hanuman's words." Then they brought him, and immediately he fell flat, and he explained the whole thing. Then Ramchandramurti said, "If I need to trust you, I trust you. But if all my friends need to trust you, you have to tell all the secrets of Lanka." And Vibhishana explained all the secrets of Lanka, who is protecting where, what is happening, everything. Then everybody gained confidence and faith in Vibhishana. Then they asked, "How can we cross this mighty ocean?" Because Rama's army was 800 crores of monkeys. 80 billion monkeys. How to cross? And only Angada, Sugriva and Jambavan, Hanuman, only these 4 can jump. What about the rest? How to cross? And Vibhishana said, "O Ram, please pray to the god of ocean and ask him the idea." Right? Okay. Somebody said they wanted to sing 4 lines about Rama. Yeah.
No, my Katha.
Sorry, Shashi Prabhu.
Then, it's a long story. To cut it short, finally the ocean of God appeared. First he didn't appear, then he appeared and said, you can ask the monkeys to put on stones, and whoever drops the stones, who has got faith in you, I will float those stones. The ocean god said. And Neela is a famous monkey who is the son of Vishwakarma. He's a very great engineer, right? Whatever he does is perfect. Then all the monkeys came with a lot of faith. They chanted Ram's name and dropped it, the ocean. And each and every stone was floating. And there were some monkeys coming with herbs and roots and everything and filling the gaps. Some other monkeys are coming and putting nice grass top on this thing, toppings, and all sorts of things. Some birds are carrying some tiny rocks and putting in between. Some squirrels are rolling, some snails are rolling. Almost 84 lakhs of species were there serving Ram, almost not even one. Everybody was there rolling stones, whatever to their capacity. And Ram is blessing, not looking into the volume, just seeing their capacity, how much they do. Like, according to the capacity, if they are doing, like, so at the same time, Hanuman is tearing apart. Angada used to climb on each peak of the mountain, and he used to jump once or twice, so the mountain will crash. And Hanuman used to carry huge boulders and drop, and the ocean would sprinkle up the sky, and these monkeys were taking bath and having fun, and all the while chanting Jai Ram, Jai Sita, you know, Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. No, they were shouting. Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. Okay, this is Abudhabi. They had to shout a little loud. So they were shouting and screaming. Then I told you in the last time Bhagavatam class how there was a competition between squirrel and Hanuman. I said that? Yes. He took the squirrel by the tail and threw it off. Okay, all sorts of things happened in between. So many nice things happened. And Hanuman is flying with the boulders, and the small pigeons couldn't take the small rocks and go. They're finding it very difficult because such a mighty bird is flying and they can't go. So what the birds used to do, they will try to carry as big as possible, and they will put it on Hanuman's boulder and sit there. Hanuman will carry them and drop. You know. So many nice things were going on. Actually, that huge seva they did out of fun. So this is something very important. When devotees join together, the service shouldn't be a pressure. The service shouldn't be some kind of a target. You know, like the monkeys happily, happily they did that jointly, each one doing out of there is no organization committee and all. They said, okay, you take that. It's out of love. When the love decreases, you need a lot of management, right? When there is so much of love, not required, right? Okay. So they were doing all sorts of things and happily they were performing service. And within 4 days, they built a bridge from Dhanushkodi to Sri Lanka. Just 4 days. Even the modern companies which you are working can't do that. 4 days and a floating bridge. That is very, very important. And each one having their flags with imprinted insignia, their clads and their emblem and everything, and beating drums. Jambavan marching in the front, Hanuman carrying Ram and Lakshman on the shoulders, Angada as the sergeant. The whole team of 800 crores of Vanaras marched to Lanka. You know, you can imagine how it would have been. And between Dhanushkoti and Lanka, there's only dust. Nobody could see the sky because they were marching and some are jumping, some are screaming, all sorts of things. Some monkeys who can't walk, elderly monkeys, they are going piggyback on the younger monkeys. You know, all sorts of things are happening. And the team reached the shores of Lanka. And immediately Ram said, surround the whole Lanka. So they splitted into groups and they surrounded the full Lanka. Then still Ramchandramurti said, at this point, if Ravana comes and beg pardon, I will forgive him. If at this moment, so give him a last chance. Sugriva is telling, what craziness is this? We have suffered so much and come here for peace. Oh Ram, please, please. And Lakshman was in fact supporting Sugriva. We have come all the way building the bridge. You know, even we can't agree, right? So, but Ram was stern, he told, and Hanuman smiled in agreement. And they called upon the smallest of all the monkeys, Angada, because others are all huge, huge. They call Angada because a sweet person goes with a pleasing message. Sometimes things changes, right? So if you want to make peace between something, you have to send right person. Don't send the wrong one. He will aggravate the situation, right? So they sent Angada. He's so cute, it seems. It's explained in Bhagavatam. Anybody with any worries, if they see Angada's face, they'll just forget. So cute monkey he is, it seems. And Angada was sent. Then Angada went straight into the palace, the Spatika chamber of Ravana, and said, hey Ravan, this is a beautiful time, and maybe this is your last chance where you can accept the message of Ram. Even at this point, when all the 800 Vanaras surrounded with leaders like Jambavan, Dvivida, Sugriva, Hanuman, Ram, Lakshman, at this point, if you give back Sita and fall at Ram's feet, Ram is ready. And Ravana didn't bother about all these things. At that time, Ravana's uncle Malyavan came and said, Ravana, please give back Sita. When Indrajit is jumping from his seat, you people are stupid, don't get scared about the numbers, there's no point, they may be 800 crores, we are not bothered, we can easily, all sorts of things he's telling. And they said, arrest this fellow. Who? Angada. Then Angada immediately jumped up in the sky and said, farewell Ravana. He wished him all best and he just went off. Went to and said to Ram, there is no chance. That time, it's very interesting. Ravana sent 3 spies. You know, all the spies. They're of like very special guys. Shuka, Sharana and Shardula. 3 spies. Monkey, there's 3 Rakshasas, but they're good in spying others. And these 3 were sent. All the 3 dressed themselves as monkeys because they can change their form at any time. They entered these 800 crores. Nobody could identify these people are Rakshasas. And exactly when they came in front of Vibhishna, Vibhishna told, Sugriva, these 3 are spies, catch them. That's all the monkeys jumped on them. They started beating, some started kicking them, some started beating them, also. And the 3 were screaming, Ram, Ram, Ram. Then Ramchandramurti got up and said, whoever calls my name, even he is my deadliest enemy, just I will deliver them. Call all the monkeys. And the monkeys came so scared, they don't know what Ram will do, what the monkeys will do, so scared. And Ram asked, leave away your fear. Tell me why you have taken the trouble of coming here. And they said, Ravana sent us to find out everything. They told Vibhishana, explain to them everything, all our plans, all our military tactics, what we are going to do, how we are going to attack. Explain to them everything firsthand and let them happily go back and inform. Look at the way, And the monkeys the Rakshasas suddenly got courage looking at the gentle form of Ram. So they started asking all extra questions. They got full information. With all the information, they went back to Ravana and said, they said everything to Ravana. This is how they are going to attack everything. And finally Shardula came up and said, Oh Rakshas Raja, I want to tell something personally from my heart. And Ravana was so amazed. What do you want to say? Then he said, please give away Sita. Because I am sure we can never win Rama and his team. Please give her. And Ravana's eyes was filled with rage, fires coming out of the rage. He was about to beat Shardula. All the three ran away. In this way, the whole thing is getting ready. And the battle is so huge. It's like you can explain for 1 or 2 days. So many things happened in battle. In between, Ravana will go with the false head of Rama, threaten Sita. They are all very expert in mystical fighting. Indrajit used to carry a Maya Sita, some form, chop her up in the sky. Ravana used to take Ram's head and threaten Sita. All sorts of mystical things he will do. Indrajit will disappear and throw boulders and arrows from the sky. Nobody can fight Indrajit. Right? But at the same time, Sugriva, Hanuman and Angada, Nila, Jambavan, each one was showing their fabulous feat in the battle. Ram used to sit back and simply enjoy his devotees perform this service. He used to enjoy. It seems Angada will fly up in the sky and send bows and arrows. In the air he will do all sorts of feats. And they will pull down the Rakshasas, nail them on the earth. One Rakshasa, 300 of them go in attack. All sorts of things. Hanuman used to fight with the mighty Rakshasas, and their chests used to beat each other, and they're like 2 huge mountains beating, and all sorts of things were happening. And finally, most of the sons of Ravana were killed by the hands of Hanuman, Sugriva, Angada, and some were killed by Lakshmana also. And now Indrajit and Kumbhakarna is left from their party. So, before waking up Kumbhakarna, Ravana thought, all my sons are died. Kumbhakarna's sons are died. All the main generals, Prahasa, so many guys, they're all died. So Ravana wanted to go personally to see what it is. So Ravana came in his special celestial chariot, which has got 300 uncontrollable stallions pulling the chariot and flying up in the sky. And he was filled with all Brahmastra, so many different kinds of weapons. And Ramchandramurti, Hanuman went to block him, Sugriva went to block him, and Ramchandramurti said, you all stay back and watch the fun. I will fight with Ravana, my own. And there was a ferocious battle. With one arrow, Ramchandramurti chopped off the flag, and with another, he killed the horses. With another, he killed the driver. Then with another, he broke. So it seems Valmiki Ramayana explains, when the bow arrow is taken, it is 1. When it is put on the string, it is 3. When he aims, it turns 100. When he shoots, 10,000 go and fall. Real masters they are. They're fighting so wonderfully. And Ravana is not less. He is also equivalently fighting. And in between, Ramachandramurti got very angry because few arrows of Ravana came and pierced him on his forehead and shoulders, and blood is gushing out. Then Ramachandramurti thought, this is the end. He took a special weapon and shot on him. His chariot broke, and from the sky Ravana fell down. and blood coming out of all his 10 mouths. He was exhausted. Ramachandramurti said, Ravana, do you want to surrender now? If you give away Sita now, still I will forgive you. But Ravana is like angry and he is not safe and said, okay, go, take rest, relax and come tomorrow. And Ravana was like going back. And the next day they thought, let us wake up Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna has just gone to sleep 10 days back or something like that. Because he sleeps for 6 months, he is awake one day, again sleeps for 10 months, 6 months, then gets up only one day. And he's not in Sri Lanka, he's on the outskirts. They've built a huge palace and his cart will be pulled by 3,000 elephants. That's how his cart is pulled. He's like a walking, talking mountain, he is. Huge. And they told 10,000 Rakshasas should go with so many cartloads of eatables and wine and everything. Wake Kumbhakarna now. Then Indrajit will say, is it required, my dear father? Yes, wake him up now. They all went. And they went with the drums and musics and weapons and eatables. They all stood around Kumbhakarna, started playing music. 24 hours they played music. He didn't even budge, he's still snoring. Then they put all the ladders and climbed on him. And they started beating him with the mace, with the gada. And he used to roll this side, killing 10,000 of them. And he will roll that side, killing so much. And he was snoring, some of them are like thrown away by the wind. And finally they started pulling his hair. They tied his hair on the legs of the elephant, made the elephant to walk. Nothing is happening. Finally they came and poured the wine in front of his nose. And it's like a huge mountain, got up and sat down. Some 1,000 Rakshasas were thrown away. Then with a deep slumber, he saw the wine and all these eatables. He ate off everything and asked, why you wake me up? They said, Ravana had summoned you, called you. Then he went to Ravana. It's a beautiful conversation between Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And he said, what has happened, my dear brother? What has happened? What worst thing has happened? You have woken me up from my deep sleep. Said, Rama and his monkey army are attacking us. All my sons are dead. Your sons are also dead. Our ministers are dead. Only myself, you and Indrajit is left. Then Ravana will say, this is the right time, my dear brother. I am taking an intelligent advice from you. You tell me what I should do. Kumbhakarna said, you didn't take this intelligent advice when you are kidnapping Sita. At that time, where your intelligence have gone? Hey, stupid Rakshasa, you have brought great misfortune to our kingdom by taking away Sita. What to do? I am your younger brother. Take it for certain. I will go and kill Ram. But Kumbhakarna knows what it is. Then the mighty giant mountain walked in the battlefield. Lakshmana asked, oh Vibhishana, what is this? Who is this? Then Vibhishana says, he is the younger brother of Ravana. This is the last arrow Ravana has got. If you can defeat this, then Ravana is easy to attack. This is the last. But how come? All the monkeys are scared because when he keeps each foot on the ground, the monkeys used to run away. How come on the earth we can attack him? How is it possible? They said, only Ram can do that. Then Hanuman also grew up to the size of Kumbhakarna. And both of them were like clasping their hands each other and they're trying to push one on the ground. And Kumbhakarna easily lifted this Hanuman and threw it in the ocean. Hanuman got wild out of anger and he came carrying another huge tree in his hand about to attack Kumbhakarna. Then Ram said, please stop, I will face myself. And there was a severe fight, a full day it was going on. Ram is sending arrows, Kumbhakarna is throwing mountains. A fierce battle is going on, and at the end of the day, Ram gloriously killed Kumbhakarna. And Kumbhakarna's head was thrown inside the palace of Ravana. his head went and broke the palace down and it fell in front of Ravana. Ravana was alarmed. Then he sent Indrajit, and that's a fierce battle. Indrajit also was killed. Okay. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Then on the last day of, not the last time of the battle, everybody's dead, and finally Ravana comes. Ravana finally performing his sacrificial fire for Agni and Brahma and everything, because he has got a special boon from Brahma. He killed hundreds of goats and sheep and threw them in the sacrificial fire, and with so many celestial weapons, armed himself with unbroken, it's like armor which can never be broken, with so many weapons. He came with a black chariot pulled by so many thousands of horses, and with very special driver flying up in this crane. And at that time all the vultures came and sat down on the flag and everything, and the rain, the cloud is pouring oil rain on Ravana, and all sorts of bad omens are, signaling to show Ravana, don't go, this is your last day. But Ravana just didn't bother about all the bad signs. His left shoulder is tweaking, his eyes are shivering. Still he didn't bother. He just came out of the city and called for Ram. Hanuman is trying to go and fight with him. Lakshmana is going to fight with him. Vibhishana is going. Sugriva is going. Angada is going. Nila everybody is going. Ravana didn't bother about any of these people. He's coming and straight looking for Ram. And the fierce battle started after so much of harsh words. Ram said, there is no point in speaking, Ravana. If you are courageous, if you are valor, you just fight. That time, Indra thought it is unfair because Ravana is fighting with a very great celestial chariot up in the sky and Rama standing on the floor. So he called Mathali, his servant, to take his own personal chariot and go and help Ram. And the chariot driver came and said, my dear Ram, O Lord, I am servant of Indra. Indra has sent this special vehicle. Please mount on this and fight with Ravana. And there was a fierce battle. In between once, Ramachandra Murthy ordered Mathali, okay, take the chariot into right and left, and he shouted at him, and immediately he realized he is Indra's servant, not mine. And in between the battle, he bowed down to Mathali and said, please forgive me, I just lost my senses. Mathali's eyes was filled with tears. Oh my Lord, what are you doing? I am in fact your servant. You can order me, you can beat me, you can whip me. So every point Rama was proving the gentleness. At the same way, when Indrajit bounded Lakshmana by the ropes, Garuda came to remove that Nagapasha. And Lord Ramachandra thanked Garuda for this great service he has done. In the same way, once Lakshmana fell unconscious, the Hanuman went and brought that Sanjeevani. At that time, Ramachandramurti embraced Hanuman and said, you brought my life back. There is nobody dearer to me than you, not even Sita. Oh my dear Hanuman, I will come in my next life, next time, and I will serve you eternally, Lord promised him. So in this way, beautiful exchanges were going on, and Ravana was appearing, disappearing, appearing, using all sorts of celestial weapons, and the battle lasted for a long time. And finally, in a very glorious way, Sri Ramachandramurti chopped off his arms, broke his chariot, cut off his flag, and the mighty, huge Ravana fell down on the ground dead. And immediately 33 crores of devas appeared on the sky. They started showering flowers. Everybody is screaming, Jai, Jai, Jai. Hundreds of wives of Ravana running out to the battlefield, hugging the dead body of Ravana and screaming. Mandodari said, how many times I repeatedly told you, my lord, give away Sita. You are bringing a great misfortune. Why didn't you listen? You look at our fate. And she's screaming, beating. Even Vibhishana shed tears for his brother. And Ramachandramurti went and told Vibhishana, do the final rites immediately. That will stop these ladies. That will give some peace to the ladies. Don't leave this body here. At that time also, Ramachandramurti is worried about these ladies, the wives of Ravana. Do the final rites immediately. And immediately they did the final rites. Lakshmana and Hanuman went and brought the ocean water personally. They poured it on Vibhishana and coronated him as the emperor of Lanka. That time, Indra came and said, thanks for Ramachandramurti for killing Ravana and reducing the burden of earth. At that time, Ramachandramurti asked, can you do me a favor? Indra was shocked. What favor I can do? My Lord, please order me. Whatever is in my control, it's all at your service. Ramachandramurti said, bring all the monkeys back to life. Bring all the Rakshasas, except the family members of Ravana, who all dead in the battle. Bring all the Rakshasas back to life. Bring all the trees torn apart by the monkeys back to life. You know, it's amazing. And Lakshmana and Hanuman couldn't believe their ears what Lord is saying. And Indra felt so happy, brought every monkey, all the 800 crores of monkeys came back. And all the crores and crores of Rakshasas came back. And all the trees came back. And Ramachandramurti told the Rakshas, hereafter sincerely serve Sugriva. And Sugriva was, Vibhishana. Vibhishana was crowned as the king of Lanka. Then Lakshmana and Hanuman is waiting for the right moment. Lord is coronating Vibhishana, ordering the Rakshasas, bringing back the life of monkeys. But Lord is not doing what everybody is expecting. What are they expecting? To bring back Sita. Ramachandramurti is doing everything. And Hanuman and Lakshmana want to go and ask Ram, and they're standing, they're stepping few yards forward, they're going back, then again coming. And finally, after finishing every small job, Ramachandramurti suddenly went into a deep grave voice and said, go and inform Sita that I have killed Ravana and now she is free. Hanuman sprang and jumped like an arrow from the bow. He ran to Ashokavana and said, oh my dear queen, Devi, Sita Devi fell at her feet and spoke all nice words and said, Rama is victorious. And Sita Devi became so happy and she said, you are the person again bringing me the sweet news. That time Hanuman saw all the Rakshasas standing. He uprooted another tree to throw it on them. Then Sita Devi said, Hanuman, please don't harm them. They are all innocent followers of Ravana. Why are you punishing them? She forgave all the Rakshasas. Then Ramachandramurti sent Vibhishana to bring Sita. Then he said, dress up like a queen. Give her all royal clothings. Decorate her with all costly ornaments. Let her come to meet me. Then Vibhishana went. Sita Devi said, I don't want to bath. I don't want to dress myself. I just want to see my Lord. No, this is Ram's order. You should do this. Then Sita went, hurried, dressed her up with everything. And she was carried in a palanquin by the great personalities. Hanuman, Lakshmana, Vibhishana, they themselves carried Sita and brought her. When Sita came at a long distance, Ramachandramurti asked them to stop and told, let Sita walk by the foot. And suddenly all these people noticed Ramachandramurti's voice has changed. He's not happy. He's very grave and serious. Looking at his serious face, Lakshmana and Hanuman are scared to go and speak to him. There is no smile in his face. Very seriously he's telling, let Sita walk to me. And the 800 crores of monkeys have heard the glories of Sita. And they are all pushing one another to see who it is, how she is and all these things. And Vibhishana and all his ministers are blocking the monkeys. And that created a big commotion between the monkeys. They're screaming and shouting, we want to see, we want to see. And Ramachandramurti, when Sita came closer, loudly said, let all the monkeys see Sita. See, she is no more a chaste lady. She lived in Ravana's palace for 10 months. Let all of them see her up to their satisfaction. When Sita Devi heard that, her heart broke down into pieces. Tears were coming. She didn't know what my Lord is saying. Waiting every day, every moment for this thing for the last 10 months. And Ram said, I have freed you from the hands of Ravana. If you want, you can go anywhere. You can marry anyone. You can live with anybody. If you want, you can go back to Ayodhya also. Or you want to go back to Mithila. I am from Ikshvaku dynasty. I will never accept a lady who had stayed for a night in somebody's house. Then Sita couldn't speak. Her face turned pale. Voice is choking. She's almost going to fall on the ground. See, she said, my Lord, if you are planning to reject me, you should have told that when Hanuman came that time itself. I would have embraced the death happily. What will I do now? And these crores and crores of Vanaras and Rakshas are looking. And she told, you are making me a item for, insult in front of so many people. How can I tolerate? Instead of this, why don't you shoot an arrow against me? Oh my Lord, please don't do this. I can't bear. This is much, much more severe than what I faced in Ravana's palace. But Ram didn't even move. With a stern voice, otherwise you prove yourself. Then she, for the folded hands, with tears flowing, she prayed to Agni Dev and told Lakshmana, please lit up a fire. Lakshmana is so angry with Lord Ramachandra. Why he is doing this again and again to Sita? He doesn't know how Sita is, who Sita is. He's like a dead body, came and did that a sacrificial pit. And Sita Devi invoked the fire and said, even for a split second, if I have forgotten Ram, let the flames of fire embrace me, and she will go inside the fire. And the monkeys with open mouth, they're watching. Sugriva is telling to Lakshman, is this what we came for? Finally putting Sita in this kind of taste? And she started glowing from the fire, and Agni Dev came personally with Sita Devi in his arms and said, my dear Ram, she is that symbol of chastity. Then Ramachandra Murthy told Agni, please say that loudly. Then Agni said, Sita Devi is the symbol of chastity. Then Ram, with tears in his eyes, went and embraced Sita and said, oh my Devi, I never doubt you. It's all I did so that the people will be happy. All the monkeys jumped up in the sky and loudly chanting Ram, Jai, Sita. Even the Rakshasas were screaming. Everybody shouting. And finally, Vibhishan said, please stay in my kingdom for a few months, then go. Then Ram said, no, I want to go immediately. Then they brought the Pushpak Vimana. Sita, Lakshman and Ramchandramurti climbed. Then all the monkeys are looking with, so much, please call us, please call us. Looking at them, he told Sugriva and all the 800s jump in. All the 800 crores of monkeys got inside the Pushpak Vimana. Then Vibhishana and all the Rakshasas also got in. And when the Pushpak Vimana was going above Kishkinta, Sita Devi told, let us take all the ladies from the monkeys' wives and children, everybody. Then the Pushpak Vimana came to Nandagram on the outskirts of Ayodhya. They landed. Then Ramchandramurti called Hanuman and said, go in a garb of a Brahmana dress. Go to Bharata. Don't praise me. Don't praise my glories. You tell him Rama is coming back. But you keenly look at the expressions of his face. If Bharata shows a slightest displeasure, please inform me. I will immediately return back to the forest. Let Bharata rule forever. Then Hanuman, what kind of services I am getting? I am getting all strange services. Right? Then Hanuman is going in the dress of a Brahmana and going and saying, Ramachandramurti is back. Immediately with full of tears, Bharata embraced Hanuman and took his costliest chain, whatever he was wearing, and poured it on and said, you are my life and soul. Then Hanuman didn't follow Rama's order at all. He said, we went there, we battled, if they won, he told the whole story. And Bharata became so happy, immediately informed the ministers, the sages, the Brahmanas, everybody, Atri, Pulastya, Pulaka, Vasishta, Kritu, Jaimi, everybody came for the function. And the grand coronation of Sri Ramachandramurti was taking place. Thousands and thousands of Brahmanas singing his praises. They were playing the musical instrument. Vasishta made the monkeys to bring all the waters from the tirthas, the ocean waters, the river waters, the tirtha waters. And the Brahmanas, in the presence of Vasishta, Kritu, Atri, Pulastya, Pulaka, Jaimini, chanting all the Vedic mantras. Ramachandra Murthy sitting on the throne. They finally did the grand coronation and the Pattabhishekam. Every citizen of Ayodhya came with a pot of water and bathed the Lord. And that ceremony went on for days. And finally, Ramachandra Murthy was crowned as the emperor of the world. Then that was time for departing. Sita Devi removed the most costliest and precious jewel, and she was holding and looking into Ram's eyes. Ramchandra Murthy smiled, and Sita Devi put it around Hanuman. And in this way, the grand coronation ended. Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Finished? Ramayan. Okay. I would like to thank all the Abudhabi devotees under the leadership of Prabhu and each and every one of you, all the devotees individually, for giving a nice opportunity to share some thoughts of Ramayan. And I really thank and fall at your feet and for giving this wonderful opportunity. Can do some service to all of you, giving me a chance. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada. Questions? Any questions?
First of all, thank you very much, Prabhu, for your nice narration of Sri Ramayan. We are very, very grateful to you. The question is, the episode of Hanuman throwing big mountains in the ocean, and the squirrel is throwing, you also told last time the story. And then when Hanuman was telling that, go away, and Ram then consoled Hanuman and said that, you are doing service according to your capacity, and squirrel is doing service according to his capacity. So you should not do like that. Now, the question in my mind is practically sometimes I have observed that many devotees, they start comparison between devotee services. And they think that, oh, you are doing this service, but I am doing only this. So some kind of, and this goes around and around. So sometimes, how do we understand that? What is service, how we can do the service so that, the whole parampara gets cleared actually, the whole ISKCON movement, so whatever, maybe, we might be a small screw in the machine. So how to understand that whatever service a devotee does is actually the allocated quota by the Lord himself, and we should not compare each other's service.
We shouldn't compare each other because each person has got a different capacity. Somebody can sing better, somebody can cook better, somebody can breathe. Different devotees. We should never compare with one person to another because each person's capacity is different. And it is not our job to find out who is great, who is small and things like that. We should be eagerly praying to Krishna to give us a lot of opportunities to serve him and please him, not competing with others. That person has done this, so Krishna give me a chance, I can do more. Not like that. Like once Maharaj said, you run the best in the running race and come last. You do the best in running race, but you come last when you are racing with devotees. You do the best and come last. So the comparison gives room to enviousness, jealousy and all these things. So we should simply be satisfied by doing service. Each one of us know what is our capacity. We don't need a judge externally. I know my capacity, devotees know their capacity. And they know very well whether I have really done something or not, whether I have used all my talents or not. If you have done, be happy that Krishna has given you the chance. Never compare it with others. Never do that. Even though Tulasi Devi is the supreme head of bhakti, without Tulasi Devi's permission, nobody can do devotional service. But still, Tulasi Devi doesn't jump and fall at lotus feet. It is waiting there in the plant so that the devotee can pluck and offer it. Tulsi doesn't run and go and sit there, right? She herself is allowing in others' hands so that they can offer. So there should not be any these kind of things. We simply work to our capacity and believe Krishna has given us a chance and be grateful and thankful. Never compare with others. Any other question?
Ravana's wife, Mandodari,
Yeah.
she is considered as one among the 5 great ladies.
Yeah,
She
was
has
chaste
a
lady.
major role in Ramayan.
In the sense, in the Ramayan, she keeps on advising her husband as a dutiful wife. You know, sometimes the wives simply flatter the husband, even though husband does something wrong and all. Yeah, you can do, you are great, like that. But Mandodari is considered to be the one among the 5 great chaste ladies, like different people are
Along
explained.
with Panjali,
Yeah, others.
Ahalya, like that.
Ahalya, no? Because Mandodari keeps on advising Ravana what to do, what not to do, and things like that. So that is her main role. And she comes only in Yuddha Kanda, and she gives a lot of advice to Ravana, and Ravana internally knows what she's speaking is right. At the same time, externally he will be rejecting her. That's the role.
What happened to Mandara?
Mandara, I don't know what happened. No, she must be living with Kaiki only. Like she was forgiven. Yeah, at that time itself they all forgave. Any other questions?
It is going on.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Not question actually. Indrajit, when Ravana was born first time and then returned back by very tired, and when Mandodari was fired to Indrajit that you that the son which is living alive, why you allow your father to go for fire?
Who asked?
Mandodari.
Maybe. Quite possible.
Because that much humility was there for the sake of her husband.
Yeah.
Yes,
Any other comments?